Hey, you ever find something you just can't make sense of? A note in your own handwriting that you've completely forgotten the meaning of, a weird error message on your screen, a locked box with a key you've lost. It's a uniquely human frustration, that itch in your brain that just won't go away. Now, imagine that feeling, but stretch it out over 600 years. Multiply it by the brightest minds of every generation, from emperors to codebreakers to modern supercomputers, all staring at the same pages, utterly baffled. That's not just a mystery. That's an obsession. That's the Voynich Manuscript. Hey, welcome back. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is Hidden Histories, the Untold Files. Today, we're diving into one of the most stubborn, beautiful, and infuriating puzzles in human history. A book that looks like a medieval herbal guide or an astronomer's notebook, written entirely in a language that doesn't exist, filled with illustrations of plants that no one has ever seen. It's a code that has resisted every single attempt to crack it. Or is it even a code at all? Let's get into it. The story of the book itself is almost as mysterious as its contents. We know it physically exists. It's sitting right now in Yale University's Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library. Carbon dating places its vellum pages between 1404 and 1438. It's small, about the size of a paperback, with over 200 delicate pages covered in neat, leftward slanting handwriting. And the drawings, they're bizarre. Section after section of unidentifiable, almost alien-looking plants with bulbous roots. Diagrams of celestial spheres with unfamiliar constellations. Pages and pages of what look like tiny, naked women bathing in interconnected, neon green pools of liquid. And the most famous section, intricate, biological-looking drawings of something. Tubular systems, maybe cellular structures, that look centuries ahead of their time. But the text, that's the heart of it. It's written in a script of about 25 to 30 unique characters, flowing in a way that suggests a real language, with word and sentence structure, repetition patterns that make linguistic sense. It's not random gibberish. It feels like it means something. And from the moment it reemerges into history in the early 1600s, that feeling has driven people mad with the desire to understand it. The manuscript gets its name from Wilfred Voynich, a Polish book dealer who bought it in 1912. He was the one who really launched it into the modern mystery sphere. But before him, it was in the collection of Emperor Rudolph II of the Holy Roman Empire, who supposedly purchased it for a small fortune, believing it to be the work of the 13th century friar and scientist Roger Bacon. Later, it passed through the hands of alchemists, scholars, and even the infamous John Dee, astrologer to Queen Elizabeth I. Everyone who possessed it believed it held profound secrets. The recipe for the philosopher's stone, the key to eternal life, lost scientific knowledge. Its very aura promised answers, but it never gave them up. This is where the investigation truly begins. The 20th century brought modern cryptography to the problem. During World War II, some of the very same codebreakers who cracked the Nazi Enigma machine turned their skills to the Voynich. They failed. The NSA, with all its computational power, took a shot in the Cold War era. No luck. Linguists have run every statistical analysis imaginable. The text follows Zipf's law, a pattern found in all natural languages, where the most common word appears about twice as often as the second most common, and so on. This is a huge argument for it being a real language, not a hoax. But which one? It doesn't match the structure of any known European or Asian language. And that leads us to the theories, which are wonderfully all over the map. The hoax theory is persistent, that it was created by a clever forger, maybe even Voynich himself, to sell a worthless book for a fortune. But the carbon dating disproves that, placing it firmly in the early 1400s. Could it have been a medieval hoax? Perhaps. But the effort involved in creating over 200 pages of consistently strange text and illustrations on expensive vellum, just for a prank, seems excessive. Then there's the lost language theory, that it's written in a proto-language, now extinct, or a constructed language meant for a secret society. The most compelling recent work suggests it might be a form of encoded Old Turkish or a Near Eastern language, but it's far from conclusive. My personal favorite, though, is the shorthand theory, that the text isn't a language in the way we think, but a series of abbreviated signs, a medieval stenography, meant to jog the memory of someone already initiated into its meaning. The pictures aren't literal plants, but concepts. The bathing women aren't a spa day, but a diagram of alchemical processes or human physiology as understood at the time. It's not meant to be read by us. It's a personal notebook, a professor's lecture notes, a herbalist's proprietary system. The meaning died with its author. That, to me, is a profoundly human explanation. It's not a grand secret for mankind. It's just someone's private, messy thoughts, rendered in a way that made perfect sense to one person 6 centuries ago. And that's where this mystery really gets under my skin. As an engineer, I'm trained to solve problems. There's always an answer, a logic, a system. The Voynich Manuscript defies that. It's a reminder that history isn't a clean data set. It's fragmented, personal, and so much of it is utterly, irrevocably lost. We can build algorithms to analyze the word frequency, but we can't climb into the mind of the person whose hand moved that quill. What were they thinking about? Were they documenting real knowledge? Or was this a flight of fancy? Were they afraid? Were they brilliant? Were they just a little bit eccentric? I look at those drawings of the imaginary plants, and I don't just see a puzzle. I see creativity. I see someone looking at the natural world and asking, what if? Maybe that's the real secret. Not a formula for an elixir, but a testament to the boundless, weird, and wonderful human imagination. A reminder that before science, before strict categorization, there was curiosity, raw, untamed, and sometimes indecipherable. So, the Voynich Manuscript remains. It sits under glass, a 600-year-old question mark. Every few years, a new paper claims a breakthrough, a new theory gains traction, but the consensus never truly shifts. The book keeps its silence. And maybe that's okay. Maybe some mysteries aren't meant to be solved. They're meant to be pondered, to keep us humble, to remind us that the past is a foreign country, and some of its letters home will never be fully translated. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into one of history's greatest enigmas. If you enjoyed untangling this with me, please do share this episode with a fellow mystery lover. For more hidden histories, make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your podcasts. This is Ibnul J. Farabi for Hidden Histories, The Untold Files, a production of Light Not Studios. Visit us at lightnotstudios.com. Until next time, keep wondering.